Everybody, I'm Ian Thomas. Just placed top 8 at the LA Regional. Played RP Luffy because I just really like this leader and I hate meta. So, fuck the soccer players. So, just kidding. No, but I just really like the leader. I like the 6K, how weird it is being 6K leader in 3 life. Games can be really close, and you just have to really think about like when you're taking your life. So it's fun.
So I'm running 4 Namis. These are staples in any Straw Hat deck. Finds you everything you need: your 5, your Zoros, Zorgeros, 2Ks, Rad Beams, so on and so forth. So run 4 of those. Great turn 1 play if going first or second. After that, have 4 Zorgeros. Biggest thing about this deck is that you need a ramp, and the great thing is that you're already at 3 life, so just pretty sure it's a staple. I think it's criminal not to play this card personally. Yeah.
How often does that card survive?
Not usually. If it sticks, it's good, but in blue and black, it's probably not going to stick. Sometimes you can just think of just holding it in hand as counter because you're not going to get it, but it's really good because in terms of Gecko and Moria, you're forcing them to play at least a Great Eruption, or they need to play, or Moria, they need to use an Absalom to get rid of it, and that's one less Absalom you have to deal with, even if they have Dawn Minus, or sometimes they don't even have that. They might have only an Ice Age if they don't want to Ice Age that, right? So sometimes it sticks, but all you want is to get 1 swing with it, and it's done its job basically. If it sticks another turn, then it's not going to do too much after that. Just another swing. Next thing, in case that doesn't stick or you go second, Bon Clay's one of the best cards to come out of the recent set, EVO1. This really tied up the deck, this is really the deck needed back in 05. So I think going second used to be this deck's biggest weakness, but as soon as we got Mr. 2, going second was fine. So when I play, I'm always thinking am I on even amount of Dawn or odd amount of Dawn? Even amount of Dawn is where you want to be. But if you're going second, this allows you to go into your odd Dawn turns, which means you have a Dawn to spare if you want to play cards like 7-cost Kid, if you want to play your King, and you basically it'll also let you get to your 8 Dawn turn on time and usually. After that, I run 2 blocker laws. These are just good in case the games can go a little long, or you need a blocker up. There's Yamato's in the meta, or some people play Yamato. This helped me out with one of my Yamato matchups. And also pitches cards out of hand, like Whitebeard. I beat a Whitebeard. One of Whitebeard's beat is because I played Law. I pitched a guard point out of hand, so that was very helpful in that case. But other than that, it's just also a really good blocker. Sometimes what you can do is if you're on 10 Dawn, you can use his effect, Dawn Minus, but since they don't have 7 cards in hand, you don't have to return them. But it reduces a Dawn, so you can use your leader effect and basically play 11 Dawn during a turn. So that's very rare it happens, but you can use that. After that, the rest of the blockers, you got Queen, so I'll put that up here. So Queen, standard, draw 2, filter out cards out of hand. You can get pretty bricked up in this deck since you're running so much top end. So Queen really helps you find what you need, and just also establishes a good body. It might not always stick into certain matchups. I typically just use it as counter for Moria or Sakazuki because it's just gonna die. But if you think you need that draw or that filter that game, then hold on to it. One of Rush Luffy, just in case you need it. I know a lot of people think you should run 2. I used to run 2, and you could still play it as 2, and I think it's good. But personally, I think you're swinging more with leader most time, and I'd rather just do a Diablo Jam swing 15 on my 10 Dawn turn, then place it down swing 11. Because since you're going so aggro, you're gonna have a lot more cards in hand. So you'd rather swing more taller. But this does help in certain matchups. This it's good to have this one. It's just a good front. King. King's really good. Going back to the whole Bon Clay thing, so let's say you Bon Clay on your turn 2, next turn you'll be at 7 Dawn. You can play King, remove body. Let's say you hit a Kikunojo in yellow matchups, it still removes it. Let's say you go up against RP Law, it hits pretty much everything in their deck, or even Warrior hits all their cards as well, pretty much early game. So you can do this, you go down to 6, but then that means next turn you go up to 8, right? And then your leader effect is still active. So that's the idea. On play, great card. King just capitalizes on that. Right? Another card that capitalizes on that is Kid. I run 4 of this. Is kind of a last minute thing I decided to, but given the meta, I mean, you can kind of play with the numbers here personally, but given the meta, I really liked having 4 uses Kids. So if it sticks, it's a fucking fantastic card. It's the best for him. But you know, it's heavy removal right now, so chances are it's not going to stick. But because so many decks are going wide, just being a 7K leader, your opponent can't really pick at you as much as they'd like to, and especially since they're using their Dawn to remove it, right? And if they use their Dawn to remove it, and let's say you slam down another one, you know, they're really like running low on cards. So yeah, just great card, staple Luffy. Play the numbers as you see fit, but this is what I run. Again, same sort of thing. 9-Beard. Play this card. It's criminal not to play this card. Like it's like go being an 8K. Let's say you had your kid stick last turn. Go to 9K. No one's swinging to that. Law, they have to partition all their Dawn to swing into a 9K leader. That's probably not going to happen. But yeah, 9K leader, big body. Put 2 Dawn in it. I'll pop Bonclays. I'll pop Renews if you really don't like those. I'll pop all the weenie blockers. You know, if you somehow play against green, you have your what's his name? Rosinantes. Yeah, those. I don't usually use them to pop stuff, but it does help when it comes up.
Why not 4?
4. So that's where you can play the numbers. So the last minute decision was because, I was gonna put 4 in, but I don't have a 4 Whitebeard. So yeah, I'm 4. But
not anymore.
Yeah, but so I was like, what's the next best thing? Let's do 7 cost Kid. But I sent it in, but then upon further thought, I think 4 Kids are just better than 3 Whitebeards, and I think any more than that you get too bricky because what you have 3, 7, 9, 10, and then you have your Gear 5s which are coming up, and then some Diablo Johns, like those. That can be really bricky. That's actually why I lost my last game against RP Law. Just got really bricked up. So yeah, Gear 5, another staple. I've seen some people play it with Shanks. I think Shanks is a good card, personally, but I don't think RP Luffy. It really matches RP Luffy's playstyle. Maybe in the future set, OP07 or 08, it might be possible with those stuff, but for now, I think you really have to play more aggressive rushdown. And this just sends you like this is your game ender right here. So like and also since you're at 3 life, you're really not gonna like have much other things to play at that time. So yeah, so just this is your game ender. Diablo Jam, you know, Leader Effect, ramp 1, 7, go 9 again, or 10, or then go 12, right? So really, really aggressive card. Really good if you get that down to finish games. I don't really use it. Like rarely do my games go past the Gear 5 turn, but if it does, then I think you're pretty much already losing at that point. But so I typically just save it for them. But run 3 of because there used to be games where I just didn't see if I ran 2, so I just upped it, and it's just been a lot more consistent. So I won a good majority of my games just slamming that down, and my opponent not being able to react to that. So rest of the deck, just 2Ks, Sanji, Usohachi, Franosuke. Not really. I mean, you can play whatever 2Ks you want. I mean, some people run Otama for the Whitebeard, so that's also really good. But I like just having more stuff to search off Nami personally, so that's why I run these. Yeah, I think Usohachi sucks personally. I would just put in 4 Sanjis in case you need an extra swing in some games, especially since it can go to 7 since you attach 2 rested on as well. But that's like you're usually aren't going to be playing these cards. Franosuke I think is a 4 of. In terms of 2Ks, he like it's an extra rush. Like if the game gets that bad and you need to use his piss ass swing to finish the game, he's there. But yeah, he's like it's good to have this as a last resort if you need it. So, but these two like especially since they're probably just going to get removed right away. They're just 2Ks. Don't play what you want with that. Other counter we have Gum Gum Rain. So again, really bricky deck. So it can get bricked up pretty bad. So Jet Gatling helps filter that out and use them as a counter. So pretty standard. Why I run this instead of the Capable Manners Tick Force, I believe, the red one. Because you have the ramped on your life, that can really help. Sometimes you don't find what you need, but hey, if you get lucky out of life, you get that ramped on, it can help.
Did it hit often?
No, I didn't hit it all this time around, but it has hit before. There's fun thing, like what can happen, very rare, but you can do Gear 5, do all that stuff. You go to 5 Dawn, right? If they swing at you and they hit you, and they hit a Jet Gatling, right? You can go to 6, and then if you're at 6, your next turn, you go to 8, leader effect go to 9. You play 9-beard right after your Gear 5, which very, very rare. Probably not gonna happen, but it's very, very fun when it does. Very, very fun. So yeah. Next up, we got Radical Beams, another staple. You're already at 3 life. Like this thing got banned for a reason, right? So then they just gave it to every other color in a different form. But yeah, Radical Beam, fantastic card. I don't really use a trigger, but you can use it if you necessary, because like what, you're at 6K, like it's basically a free kid on play effect or attack. So it's strong if you do use the trigger, but that's case by case, right? So this is just great counter, especially when you're at already such a beefy beater. So sorry, just trying to organize all this. Too many random cards and stuff. Or not random, but yeah. Anyways, another staple, 2 Diablo Jam. Again, the reason why I'm running only 1 Rush Luffy is because I like to use Diablo Jam to swing leader more often. So these are also really good with Gear 5 because if you use it, then you can basically swing like 13 unblockable or something like that. So I've been organizing these all wrong. I'm so sorry about that. Someone's gonna get mad. It's okay. Yeah. And then so yeah, Diablo Jam. You're not really gonna use the trigger. I mean, again, triggers are just if it happens. But yeah, Diablo Jam that's also a game ender. That's what closes the game out. Especially if you went really aggressive and they've taken all their life. Just Diablo Jam fucking 14, right? 14 at least, or 15 at least. So, then the last 2 cards, these are my tech options personally, along with, King I think King's necessary, but these are more so tech options. I play Robin, kind of like Diablo Jam. Given how Moira and Sakazuki, a lot of them are running Rebecca, it's just great having a Nico Robin just there to pop it and then just get through, just keep the aggression going, because the lower you get them, the more you want to get them to a point where it's very unsafe to play their Moria. And since you're ramping so fast, you can get them there sooner than they can get to Moria. So that's why I run this. You could probably do 2 more Diablo Jams, but I prefer having this because it's the counter as well. Like, having these extra 1Ks actually do really help throughout the game. If I play Kid, I have something else to pitch. I typically try to hold on to these during the Sakazuki matchups. Sometimes Moria, sometimes if you think they're playing Rebecca Hina. Yeah, I did mess up a couple times using this, but I use as counter in those matchups. But most matchups, if the ones that I did mess up, if I had that would have probably changed how the game went, definitely. So, yeah, that's my deck list. I hope I inspire more people to play off meta stuff because the game is more fun. Yeah.
So round 1, played against Sakazuki. Won that one. Actually, I played against 4 Sakazuki's total. Day 1, won 50% of them, so 2-2, right? The ones I lost is because I used my Robin as counter instead of saving it for the Rebeccas. So you're going back. Yeah. Went up against 2 Geckos. That was round 2 and round 3. I just kept aggroing them. I played Useless Kid, or Captain Kid. And yeah, 7K leader, they're not going to swing it into me. They're going to be more like they're going to tunnel vision on removing that, and for good reason. It's a threat, right? The Fuse's kid is a threat, but the thing is, like, if they, I think one of them used Absalom to KO my Zoro Juro, and because of that, I mean, that's one less Absalom they have to deal with. So, because their removal, they only run Lucci and Absalom. If they don't have those, then it's the game's going to be really rough for them. So the fact that you already used a Absalom on my Zoro Juro was actually great, because if I just leave that on board, then he can't keep recycling it and using it to kill my shit, right? So Kid Killer is stuck around a lot more because of that. If they do kill it, you have a lot more big bodies in your deck. Just slam another one down. They're going to give you some power. They're not going to try and swing into you. If you do, it's pretty easy 1K, 2K counter if you have it in hand. So let's see. I fought against 2 Whitebeards. Those were really close. Those just came down to the wire. I think Law was the best card into those matchups. Pitching cards out of hand, but also just the ramp, right? Being able to ramp so fast. If you can get your 9-beard out first, you're in a good spot. Then you can just keep aggroing and get those cards out of hand. Because, especially if you're going first, because if you ramp first, you're going to get your 9-beard maybe 1, sometimes even 2 turns early, right? And if you get it 2 turns early, then they're now having to pitch like a rad beam per swing if they want to stay alive, right? And then they go down to 0 life. It's not really safe for them to play a 9-beard because they only have 1 Dawn up to use their defense, right? So they have to start pitching their stuff to be efficient with their cards in hand, right? I went against 1 RP Law. That's it. Again, Kid Killer. They're going wide, right? If they need to commit more Dawn each swing to go wide to hit you, then that's good, because that's less cards they play, and it makes them struggle more on their turn to go to try and hit you. So. But that's the one thing I did out of all my matchups is counter out early, keep myself around 2 life. So if they I could set up a board to then go into game basically sometimes. But or it'll be safer for me to swing into life without having to worry about taking hits, right? So so that's 9 of the 10, and then the last one, which is surprising, was Yamato. That was wild. Wild. Thankfully, I've ran the set with my friend Rob quite a bit. He's really helped me understand how to play against that. Yamato, if you do fight against it, you really have to gauge how to play it. I think the most important part about the Yamato matchup is, do you take the first hit or not? I think if they swing 6 at you, you definitely counter out. Counter out if you can. But if they swing 8 at you, I think it's just better to have more cards in hand. You have more options to go from later on. So and that happened. He swung 8 at me first turn. I drew into a Bonclay Queen. That's what I wanted. I got that. I played my Bonclay next turn. I left 1 Dawn up for a Rad Beam. I had in my opening hand. He swung 10 again, so I just Rad Beamed out of that. And then next turn I played a Queen, so now I have defense, right? So, also, great thing about the Yamato matchup, if you're at 1 life, his double attack doesn't do anything. I mean, it sucks because his leader's ability is already active, and, those Kikunojo's are already going to come out of life, but, that just comes with the matchup, right? You got to accept that. But, if you get that first hit, he's, you're at 1 life. His base is... double attack doesn't do anything, and you're just playing you're just playing with the usual attach 2 Dawn, right? Which you would have been dealing with from the begin with, right? So not that bad, honestly.
How was your? So then you went day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
So top 32, you qualified for that, obviously. You placed what in Swiss day 1? What did you place?
I went X2 day 1 and 20th place. Yeah.
20th. Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty good spot to be in, honestly. Mm-hmm. And for then day 2, you made it to top 8. And what were your matches then?
I went against Yellow Black Luffy, good friend of mine, Taz. Fortunate the friendly fire happened. Man, that sucked. But he was really good. So I went against Yellow Black or Luffy first, and then I went against 2 Laws back to back after that. Taz, the Yellow Black Luffy, that it can get pretty close because you're both buffing your leader up and you're needing to manage that. But I think it's maybe like slightly favored in Red Purple Luffy because you have ramp, and then on top of that, the best thing, probably the best card to deal with red or yellow black Luffy is Gear 5 Luffy. So if you don't know, use this kid and wipe their effects say it lasts until the start of your next turn, right? It's different for the brothers, 3 brothers. Theirs say your 2K lasts until the end of your opponent's next turn, right? So if your opponent decided to like try get rid of their life to play out their bodies and go to 9K, right? You play Gear 5, right? You take your next turn. Since you just finished your first turn, their effects were off. So now your opponent goes back down to 5K power. If you have a Diablo Jam, you can just go straight 16th lead, and that's a good. Yeah, that's a game ender right there if they don't know the matchup. Taz, however, did. He was playing very safe. He kept 1 life up, so that made it really difficult. But I just got my big bodies out and just made it really difficult for him to swing into me, and just made it a lot easier for me to swing back into him since I already have these characters that can match his power when he ups it, right?
And then your second round for day 2 today.
RP Law, I just went straight aggro on that one. Like my cards in hand weren't that good, so I just went aggro. Thankfully, his cards weren't good either. He kept bricking, so like I think back to back. So board state, all you gotta need to know is he had a queen on board, he had 1 life and 4 cards in hand, and I played Gear 5 Luffy, and he couldn't counter out of my 7K swing with Gear 5 Luffy. So and then I had Diablo Jam, and then just went for game when he took that hit. So.
And you won both games like that?
Yeah, same thing.
Games, yeah.
The second one was just as was worse because I top deck Diablo Jam. I don't want to say that one was really like a skill. It was just he had a bad hand, man, and that happens in the game, you know. He had a bad hand. I just drew pretty well. So and round 3, another RP Law. The RP Law. Okay. If you can get your big bodies out, or like you get your power up, RP Law is easier to deal with. But once they start going wide and picking at you for 6s, it's pretty difficult. He did really well in doing that against me. So I lost both sets against him. I think my first hand was brick. The second game was a little better, but he got 2 bonk plays out. Those really hurt me because I play out kid, free 8K swings at me, right? So and then Kid and Killer, he gets online a lot faster once you take a life. So, he swung 7 at my 7, and I just kept getting cards out of hand until I ran out of cards to counter with. So, let's look at the pricing. So top 64, we got the Charlotte Pudding. It's a really nice card. Too bad I don't play yellow, but I'm probably gonna hold on to this one just as for my first top 64. Charlotte Katakuri, that's a sick card. Those regular ones are already super expensive, man. So this is really cool to see this. Yeah. And then we have our 10 Mom right there. Big baddie of the Charlotte Big Mom Pirates. So and then top that, we got the finalist packs. That's all the stuff that you get in the event packs, but just finalists on it. And then we have cereal shakes. This feels too much money right here. Yep. $9.57.